Hey guys, Cap24 coming back with the second formation for our run guide. And what we're going to look at is the single back wing formation. I really like a lot of the runs in this formation, and I kind of want to show you basically what they are individually, and then we'll go ahead and about how we can utilize them with other formation scheme shifts in order to kind of give you some options when it comes to the line of scrimmage. Now you're going to see that you get the halfback misdirection, which is a counter play, definitely something that you can use at the right moments. Not something you want to live in, but definitely something that if you're getting somebody that's overcommitting to one side, you definitely can use that. Now you got the zone weak, which I'm a big fan of. I believe that the zone weaks and the halfback blunt dives are very, very underrated. Not a lot of people use them. It's actually one of my favorite defenses to go against this new meta of the 3-4 under / predator O-linebacker strike 2. I think they just do an amazing job of getting in some soft spots to where when people do edge blitzing and leave one of their linebackers in deep blue and then just go ahead and try to maneuver the middle of the field with the other linebacker, you're going to want to go to these type plays like zone weak, because what you're doing is you're attacking a two linebacker set that is in the middle of the field, and one's going backwards already when it comes to a deep blue. So if you don't have anything like that, the zone weak's a really nice option. Halfback stretch, great play. It's got the ability to get outside. It's going to a too tight set, so you're basically going to a strong side when you do that. And then I'm not a big fan of the inside zone split in this formation. I typically don't go to it. It's not something that maybe you just have a better success than I do. It's just not something that I'm too comfortable with. Halfback toss crack is definitely a get them off of their kind of a quick hike, get them in a bad defense, or kind of get them a little bit off balance. You can definitely use that play. And then I love this halfback draw play. Okay, halfback draw when it comes to a single back under center is probably one of the least looked at type plays that should get a lot of success. Draws are great in this game in Madden 18. Typically people will sniff out a draw when it's in a gun set. Not really, very rarely, let's put it that way, is anybody looking for a draw in under center. This is a great one. It's got the ability to have the inside receiver go to the outside, which is great because it's going to kick out any of those cover twos that are going to be lingering in the run fits. And then you've got people that are going up the field. It appears to be more of a pass play than a run play. In that way, it really does a good job of getting those users to go backwards. So I really like that play as well. So those are the plays. Just want to go over them. And the first thing we're going to do is call one of these plays. Okay, I'll go ahead and call zone weak. All right. And with zone weak, like I said, it's going to be a great play against a lot of those Tampa 2 or outside linebacker 2, strike 2, all those defenses that people want to get double edge heat, and they kind of leave the middle a little bit more exposed and kind of go to. So in this type of situation, a lot of times what they'll do is they'll spread their linebackers, and you're kind of looking at them trying to go ahead and get a crash to the outside type deal, and basically we'll go ahead and just blitz all our linebackers and then put these middle guys in some type of coverage, right? Something like this, right? Something to where they're going to crash the outsides and they're going to try to get the outside containment. That's when I typically go to the zone weak. Okay, it's something that I like. Like I said, it's kind of it goes into a soft spot in most of those defenses, and you can see that we're kind of just going to this one little spot, and it just does a good job of just fanning everybody out and getting underneath the coverage, right? So that's typically, if you're looking at when to use that, that's really when I like to use that play, right? Then you definitely have, as far as a dynamic running situation, you've got in your audibles is the zone weak. Okay, so you don't want to call zone weak as your play. There's no reason to ever call a run play that's in your audibles. Okay, it's typically going to be one of those that if you're going to call something that's in your audibles, you're basically giving yourself just a little less opportunity to have success. So don't call zone weak. It should be in your audible, right? What you want to do is call either the halfback stretch or the halfback draw is my opinion of what you should start off with. Okay, let's go to halfback stretch, and I'm going to show you what I like to do with this play here. I like to playmaker it right away. Okay, the reason why I like to playmaker it is because we're going to have the ability to go back and forth with some formations. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this far right receiver and we're going to move him to the left hand side. Okay, so we're going to move him over. And what you're going to see is you're going to have that ability to run it to his side if nobody goes ahead and tries to shift or do anything. Right now, it's a really tough situation because you're really giving them two tough assignments on a stretch play. Do I want to go stretch to the double tight side, or do I want to go stretch to the double wide receiver side? I've always wanted to go to the two wide receiver side. I feel like it's just a much better ability in this game to go against those. So typically that's my favorite way to go. We're going to get outside with this, and you're going to see that we're going to have some good ability to get some yards, okay? It's just one of those that you're going to put some strain on them. You can definitely go ahead and fake them out by not playmaking it, and you can go to the right side with it. Or you can playmaker it to the right and still go to the right type deal, and then you can go to the outside as well. So now you've got two different options when it comes to that. Typically speaking, when I'm going to the outside stretch, I'm cutting it inside. What I mean by that is typically if you don't have any outside help over here, you're going to want to string this outside and then you want to cut it back in. Okay, I kind of looked at that before the play even started, that's kind of what my idea was going to be, unless they're in a different type of defense. But in this type set, I'm really, see how if I kind of go outside, I'm going to get strung along. I'm going to look for the cutback more than not when it comes to this stretch if there's no receiver out there, okay? Now, also the reason why I like to do this, you'll see this in the guide, is the playmaker this to the left, motion this guy to the right, all right? So now I've got the ability to run it to the left. Now, say I want to run it to the right now. Let's say everybody and their mother went to the left, right? This guy goes to the left, they're shifting everybody left, and now we're saying, you know what, they're not respecting the right. But the problem is that I can't audible to the right with this formation, and I can't, if I'm playmakering it to the right, it won't allow you once you went ahead and did the shift. So we're going to go to single back wing slot, which is basically the next one over, and we're going to call halfback stretch. You're going to see that the only thing that happened was your tight end went ahead and stood up and came back down, right? So that's going to give you the opportunity now of using this play back to the right-hand side. So if they overcommit to the left, now we can say we can keep it outside because of the fact that we got them to overload to the left. Because once you go playmaker, you can't playmaker it back to the other side. So that's why we want to start this off with a playmaker left, right? Move this guy over. And if we get some shifting over there, or we see that, you know what, they left the entire right side open, you don't want to go to the left with it, then you can definitely just go to single back wing, go to halfback stretch, and now we're good to go. And you're going to see now I'm going to go ahead and try to cut it inside and have some really good success with that. That's what dynamic running does. It gives you options depending on what their reaction is. And being able to know which audibles to go in and out of is going to be very powerful for you. Just follow the guide and it's going to give you those answers, okay? So that's basically what I like with that. Now, we can definitely go ahead and call any other play with this. We didn't mention that we can call the zone weak. We can also go ahead and call the halfback draw. Now, typically, like I said, I put down on the guide to call the zone weak just because I want to make sure that you know that it can be a call that you go in and out of, but I typically don't want to call zone weak because of the fact that it's in my audible, so I can always use audible to it. So we'll go to singleback wing, we'll go to the halfback draw. And you're going to see that with the halfback draw, and just pick any really defense here, doesn't matter. You're going to see that you're going to have the same ability to kind of go in and out of this. We can go ahead and run this straight up. You know, everybody's going to go backwards. You're going to have a really nice opportunity to get some good yards. One of my favorite plays as far as type of play in the game. Now you can do the same thing with moving this player over. And say you're moving this player over, and for some reason or other, you don't get the good vibe that the halfback, draw is going to work. Then you can always go to single back wing slot and do the halfback stretch. But typically speaking, people aren't going to, jam the middle here. It doesn't look like it's going to be a middle type run. It's either going to look like it's going to go outside for either side. So now we do the halfback draw, and you can see that we're going to get some ability to get up the field. So now you're really putting some stress on them. They can run the ball to the left, they can run the ball to the right, and they can run the ball as a delay route up the middle. That's very tough to cover, and that's what we're really trying to establish when we come to a running game, is make everybody cover everything with their defenses. You're not going to find a lot of players that are going to be able to do that, especially with the amount of in and out of formations that we're going to do. It's just about really finding the right things to go back and forth with, and when you get them playing on their heels, you're going to be at a good, very good advantage over them, okay? So that's basically how we would go with the single back wing slot halfback stretch. Now we can do the same runs, and we can go ahead and go to the gun wing slot offset. So we go to the gun wing slot offset. We'll go ahead and toggle over. So here it is. We're going to go to inside zone. Before we do that, we want to make sure that we do the same motion though, okay? So we're going to move this guy over, And this is kind of one of those things where you say, I got the halfback draw, and now I want to show a whole different play. And so now they think that they have to worry about that. And now we're going to go to this play right here, which, like I said, was going to be the gun wing slot offset. And we're going to go to inside zone. See how minimal of a movement that is? And now I'm doing inside zone to the left-hand side. I'm going to kind of try to quick hike it, and I'm going to go ahead and get them. So now they have to worry about outside left stretch, outside right stretch, halfback draw, and now inside zone from gun, all at the fingertips by just moving that player over. Again, very, very tough on a user to really know what defense to do. We keep on playing this method all game long. They're going to have one of those exhausting moments at the end of the game and say, you know what, this guy just wore me out. And if you have that type of effect on everybody, that's going to be a good thing, right? So that's basically what we like to do with the gun wing slot offset. Now, the other play we can go to here is the pistol ace. So what we do with the pistol ace is we take the right tight end and we motion him to the left. So now we're going to show a whole different look here. Say we're in, right now we're still in halfback draw. Now we're going to move this guy over. Okay, now you're going to see that we're kind of in an ace setup, right? All we're going to do now is go to pistol ace. And we're going to go ahead and do halfback zone. You're going to see that it's very minimal movement. Now you have the ability to do a zone play from pistol, which is really nice, and have the ability to flip it on the fly. So now you've got some really nice options with that as well. So again, you're really just going and saying, you know what, give me a reason to change my play to any type of, poor defensive alignment that you got going on. So this time we're just going to go to the side and see that we're going to have a little bit of ability to kind of hit a different hole. And it's really going to put some pressure on them. Okay, so that's why I like to go to the pistol ace on that. The next thing I like to do is take the same exact motion that we did, and we move this player over. And you can still use this player and move him over and then still run, the same plays that you were doing before. But I'm just showing you different ways to get in and out of formations. Now we can go to the gun ace offset, which we'll go ahead and go to. And you're going to see that we're going to be able to run the inside zone again. So again, very minimal movement. And now you're going to go ahead and do the same thing. And you're going to go ahead and get some good yardage to an inside zone play that's typically going to be more of a A-gap type run rather than going all the way to the outside. Some inside zones definitely have that ability to cut it outside. Typically those are going to be your, your 3 type, receiver / tight ends on the left side. But this one where people are going to be kind of jammed up, kind of like an ace formation, you're going to be able to kind of keep it inside a little bit more, which is going to be a lot harder for them to have to stop inside and outside runs when they don't know what to expect from this offense. So that's really why I like the single back wing as well. We're going to be in and out. Use the guide to your advantage. Really get to know these plays, and it's definitely going to give you that stress on your defense to really make the right calls at the right times to stop it, guys. Appreciate it.